The alien scientists observed from behind their reinforced glass screens as the human test subjects sat calmly in the middle of the experiment chamber. The facility, deep within the heart of the Xixian Empire, had hosted numerous tests on various species before, but none had perplexed them quite like the humans. The lead researcher, Dr. Varex, flicked his long, reptilian fingers over the control panel, his large, black eyes narrowing in suspicion. Begin the first phase. Let's see how long it takes for its skin to dissolve. A thick mist filled the chamber as highly pressurized H2O was released from the nozzles above. On any respectable species, water in such a pure state would act as a powerful solvent, breaking down biological tissue within minutes. It had been a critical weapon in Xixian warfare for centuries. The human, Sergeant Daniel Carter, looked up at the mist descending upon him and sighed. "You guys serious? You call this a test? Feels like a cheap sauna." Dr. Vorex hissed in frustration. The water should have at least started causing burns, if not outright liquefying the test subject's skin. He tapped into his communicator. Increased concentration by 300%. The mist turned into a torrential downpour of H2O, forming puddles on the chamber floor. Carter ran a hand through his wet hair and chuckled. "Well, I needed a shower anyway." Gasps filled the observation room. One of the junior researchers, a gelatinous being named Ilthok, wobbled in distress. "Sir, the human remains unaffected. No tissue degradation, no pain response, nothing." Varex slammed a clawed hand onto the console. "Impossible. This substance is lethal to every known species." Carter, seeing the alien's frustration, decided to rub it in. He scooped up a handful of water and dramatically splashed it on his face, relishing the looks of horror from his captors. "Ah, refreshing. Got any soap?" Varex felt his scales tighten in unease. "Proceed to phase 2, immediately." The water drains sucked away the liquid, and within seconds, the room was filled with a new deadly element. Liquid dihydrogen monoxide infused with electrified particles. A plasma current ran through the fluid, a method used to break down even the toughest organisms. Carter raised an eyebrow as the air sparked around him. The electrical charge was intense, yet all he felt was a slight tingling on his arms. "This is cute. You guys ever heard of thunderstorms? Because I think my toaster back home gives me a stronger zap than this." Varex's mind reeled. The chamber's energy output was enough to fry a Durian warlord in an instant. How could this human remain standing? Ilthuk gurgled nervously. "Sir, we may be dealing with an anomaly. Perhaps a genetic mutation unique to this individual?" Varex shook his head. "No. We have observed humans surviving the harshest of conditions. Radiation, extreme temperatures, poisons that would melt steel. No, this is no anomaly. This is their nature." His voice dropped to a whisper, the realization shaking him to his core. "They are invulnerable." Carter, growing bored, clapped his hands together. "All right, this has been fun and all, but I was promised an extreme survival test. What's next? You gonna throw me into space? I mean, I'd probably need a suit for that, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if I could hold my breath longer than you lot." Varex stiffened. Space. That was it. He turned to Ilthok. "Prepare the vacuum chamber. If we cannot break its body, we will test its resistance to the void itself." Within minutes, Carter was led into a new chamber. The walls were pure titanium, reinforced to withstand atmospheric collapse. The moment he stepped inside, the doors sealed shut. Varex's voice crackled through the intercom. "Let us see how long you last in the vacuum of space, human." With the press of a button, the atmosphere was drained from the room. Any normal creature would experience excruciating pain as their blood boiled, and their lungs collapsed under the sudden pressure loss. Carter yawned. His ears popped slightly and his skin felt weirdly tight, but overall it was nothing he hadn't experienced during deep-sea training with the Navy. He stretched his arms out, cracked his knuckles, and gave the observation window a thumbs up. Varex nearly toppled over. No, this cannot be." Ilthok shivered in his gelatinous form. "Sir, we have made a grave mistake. If the humans are this resilient, then what happens if they turn their sights on us?" The entire room fell into a horrified silence. Carter, seeing their terror, smirked. He mouthed 2 words toward the glass. We adapt. The words sent a primal fear through every researcher in the facility. The Zixians prided themselves on their evolutionary superiority, yet here was a species that defied all known logic, one that not only endured but seemed to thrive under conditions that spelled certain death for all others. Venerex stumbled back from the monitor, sweat forming beneath his scales. Shut it down. Release him. We must report this to the High Council at once. Moments later, Carter was escorted out of the facility, back to the ship he had been taken from. The moment he stepped aboard, the alien guards practically shoved him inside and scrambled away as if afraid he would explode. Back on his vessel, Carter radioed command. Mission report. The aliens tried killing me with water, electricity, and space itself. No luck. Pretty sure they're terrified of us now. Permission to mess with them further. The voice on the other end chuckled. Negatives, surgeon. Return home. But make sure they remember, humanity is not to be trifled with. As the ship roared back toward Earth, Carter leaned back in his chair, grinning. Oh, they'll remember all right. And across the galaxy, the Zixian Empire entered a new era, not of conquest, but of caution. Because if humans could survive what no other species could, what else were they capable of? The universe had underestimated humanity, and now it would never make that mistake again.